All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Top 25 by Damo. We're going to go back through the rankings now that week one's over and everybody has officially played football. Well, most teams have officially played football. I'm sure there's still a couple teams that haven't. But every team that really matters has played a game. So we're going to get back into the rankings. I haven't seen the AP poll yet, although I've tried to avoid it as much as possible. There were a couple of thumbnails on YouTube that I just tried to go past as fast as possible. But I'm gonna try to do this without taking a peek at the AP polls. So usually these will come out sooner. The only reason this one took so long is because the last game was played on a Monday, which I mean it was Boston College and Florida State, so it's not like it really mattered. But Boston College could be ranked. I mean, so and I didn't have any time on Tuesday or Wednesday to make this. So usually these will come out probably on Sunday. I'll probably make these on Sundays, but I just didn't have time. This last week. So this is when this one comes out. But let's get back into it. So we started off with Georgia number 1. They are going to stay right there. And I also can't look up the scores because I looked up the scores just a second ago and I saw the AP rankings had changed. So I can't look up the scores, so I'm going all just off of memory. It's been a few days, so I probably have forgotten some stuff, but I remember the important things. So starting off Georgia, we're going to leave Georgia right there at number 1. The Bulldogs, that is right where they belong. But I can tell you what we're not keeping the same. Ohio State is not staying number 2. And Oregon is probably not staying number 3. I think we can go ahead and put Texas, boom, right there. Actually, to be honest, I don't know if Texas deserves number 2. For me, it's between Texas and Alabama. That's who deserves a 2 spot. Ohio State and Oregon looked like complete trash on this weekend. Idaho, I think it was Idaho, the Vandals, had Oregon down to the wire. And I think Ohio State ended up blowing out Akron, but I was checking that game in the third quarter. It was like 17-17. I mean, it was close. And they should not be playing with Akron like that. I mean, they should have blew Akron out of the water. So for those against bad teams, you're supposed to dominate. Against good teams, it's okay to have close games, but against bad teams, you're supposed to dominate. So, especially if you want to be a top 5, top 10 team. So what I'm probably going to do is we're probably going to go. The question is, would I rather? If these two played on a field, who would I think would win? And honestly, I think Bama would win. Like the reason I gave Texas the benefit of the doubt on the last poll was because they beat Alabama last year. But Alabama came out and just I don't know who they played, but they destroyed them. It was not close. Just total domination by Bama. I mean Texas dominated too. I mean I guess there's no reason to drop Texas below Alabama based on that. But Texas played really good. So here we go. We'll go ahead and put Alabama number 3. That's not going to get settled on the field this season, but we'll see what happens over the course of the season. Now, the real question is, how far do we drop Ohio State and Oregon? We could just go ahead and put Ohio State there at number 4, but like, do we think Ole Miss could have beat Ohio State this week? Maybe. Anybody could have beat Oregon this week. Anybody could have beat Oregon this week. And shout outs to my boy Dylan Gabriel. I wish you the best of luck, but you were gonna have to turn it on. And the Vandals can be giving you guys a run for your money. Here's what I really want to do. I really want to raise Utah. Utah looks good. I know they're gonna finish probably as Big 12 champions. But to be honest, I think Utah's probably gonna take a couple losses, and I think. If you put Utah, I can't put Utah above Ole Miss because if you put Ole Miss against Utah, I think everybody's taking Ole Miss in that situation. Oregon and Utah, dog, I put Oregon behind Utah. Utah and Ohio State or Ole Miss and Ohio State. I'm kind of thinking Ole Miss, but I don't want to have 4 SEC teams in the top 4. I mean, to be honest, that's kind of my reasoning there. So we'll go ahead. Ohio State might be fake, but we'll let them wait and prove their fakes. We'll go ahead and leave Ohio State there at number 4. We'll move Utah up to 6. Michigan's going to lose to Texas this weekend. They're not looking good. So we can go ahead, I think, drop Oregon down there. Wait, no, 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 no. We're going to drop Oregon further down because I'm going to put OU up above Oregon. From what I saw, also, I was worried about OU losing to LSU in Baton Rouge week 12. I'm no longer worried about that. That's not happening. LSU. Also, let's go ahead and do us a nice favor. LSU, the whole reason I faked out last week. I said I wasn't going to put USC in the top 25. I went ahead and put them there at 25 because I was hoping LSU would win and give me the honor of taking them out of my top 25. But no, LSU couldn't get it done, and they're going to go right down here. Also, Notre Dame looked fucking terrible against Texas A&M, and I know Texas A&M is not good, so they're moving down. USC is going to be 24 on whatever rankings these are. Vandy's also going to move up. But, okay, let's go ahead and move Oregon up, or Oregon down to number 9. Honestly, I think OU would probably move us up to the top 6, but I'm going to leave us right here at number 8 for right now. Tennessee, actually, Tennessee would have beat Oregon as well. I would take Tennessee right now against Oregon. Oklahoma State, I think they're just moving up because LSU moved down. Nothing too crazy there. Penn State should maybe go ahead of them, but we'll leave Ohio State ahead for now. KU, I'm still liking KU. Georgia Tech, what was Georgia Tech's game this week? I don't know. I'm pretty sure they won, though, so they can stay ranked. Mizzou, also Buffalo looked like ass as well. I'd probably take Vandy over Buffalo or Colorado. North Carolina, can North Carolina move up? I don't think so. Louisville, Clemson, Kansas State, Mizzou. Who really had some good performances? Maybe Miami. So the top 10's good. Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Utah, Michigan, OU, Tennessee, Oregon. I think that's solid. I think Oklahoma State being right there. I think Penn State being right there is all fine. I think Kansas being there is fine. Missouri right there at 14 also looks good. I don't really want to move Georgia Tech up to 15, but I might. So Miami looked okay. They took down Florida, although Florida looks terrible. Who else do we have? Oh, also, one play of the week's got to go to the USC kid that caught that one-handed ball. I don't know. You guys have probably seen clips of it on SportsCenter and everything. But that was a crazy ass catch, and I say that as the biggest USC hater. That was a really good play. Iowa scored points this week, so that's not good for the rest of college football if they figured out how to score points. I think Arkansas had a good week, but they're not going to the top 25. Florida State's not moving. Boston College could come up, I guess. Just trying to think of how everybody else did this weekend. But I didn't watch the Georgia Tech game. I didn't watch the Kansas State game. I didn't watch Clemson or Louisville. So I guess here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and move Georgia Tech up here. We'll keep Kansas State, Clemson right there. Louisville can stay. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a peek at the rankings. College football scores last week. Okay, so they've got USC at 13. That's not going to affect me at all. So Arizona won 61-39. That's honestly pretty bad. Idaho and Oregon. Okay, see, this is why Oregon moved down. Ole Miss destroyed Furman, although Furman's not a real school, so. Alabama destroyed Western Kentucky. Okay, so Kansas State did win. Florida, Miami won. Ohio State won. Oklahoma State won. Wow, Oklahoma State's not ranked. How about that? Texas won 52-0. Tennessee won 69-3. Iowa beat Illinois State. Louisville, here we go, 62-0. Okay, we can leave them ranked. Clemson lost to Georgia. Yeah, that's right. There's no shame in losing to Georgia, but if you lose, like I said, you move down. And to be honest, they're still probably a top 25 team, but as long as they're 0-1, they're not going to be in my top 25. Um, Lindenwood. So Kansas destroyed Lindenwood. All right. I guess those are all the top 25 games apparently. Where is? Okay, let's check the BYU score, the NC State score. Okay, go back. BYU. Okay, so they took out Southern Illinois 41-3. Got a game with the SMU next week. What is NC State doing? Okay, so NC State played WCU and won 38-21. That's not inspiring any confidence in me. Okay, so NC State's gonna move back as well. We'll move BYU up. These guys got to stay at 24. North Carolina. Also, Notre Dame's got to be behind USC because USC will beat Notre Dame later on in the season. Let's check the North Carolina score. New window. Let's go North Carolina score. 19-17, but they took on Minnesota. That's actually a football team. So good win for them. We'll keep them up here. Vandy is going to be just above USC. And honestly, I think USC would beat Vandy, but we're going to go ahead and leave Vandy ranked right now. We will put Miami up above them. We are also going to put Vandy above Colorado. So you can say I'm just hating on these three schools, and you're probably right. You're probably absolutely right. Does NC State still deserve to be in the top 25? Also, let me check Louisville real quick just to make sure. Louisville score. Took on Austin P, beat them by 62. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, they're kind of garbage, but what can you do? And did we check the North Carolina score? And I know, scores don't mean shit. You gotta watch the actual football game to know. But I mean, I only got so much time in the weekend, so we can't watch every single game. Although I try to keep an eye on any game that matters. I can't spell Carolina to save my life. Okay, there we go. Oh, it was 19-17. Yeah, duh. Okay. So I think this looks okay to me. I don't know about NC State. NC State probably needs to come down. I don't know who we would replace them with though. Like I can't think of any team that had just like a crazy week. Um, I think this looks okay. We'll go ahead and leave it like this for now. This be my week. I guess it's my week 2 AP poll, but really, I mean, it's after week 1. I'll probably title it week 1 AP poll or week 2 poll. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'll title it, but this is what I'm generally thinking. Georgia would beat Texas. Texas would beat Alabama. Actually, I still think Alabama would probably beat Texas. But I think we're going to beat Alabama, so we can't always use that for the rankings. Ohio State, Ole Miss, Utah, Michigan, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Oregon. And we got Oklahoma State, Penn State, Kansas, Missouri, Georgia Tech, Kansas State, Louisville, BYU, North Carolina, the U, Miami, and then Vandy, Colorado, USC, Notre Dame, and NC State. Although I'm not feeling too great about NC State. But yeah, I think that looks okay. Arizona could maybe be up here. Honestly, let's put Arizona up here instead of NC State. Let's do that. Okay, I think that looks solid. And now let's go compare and contrast to the AP poll. I have not actually looked at the AP poll yet. Now, like I said, I've seen some peaks. Week 2 AP poll. All right, NCAA.com. What have you got for us? Georgia, number one. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So we've got Georgia 1-0 at the number 1 spot. Ohio State number 2. What a whiff. Texas moved up from 3. Who moved down? Oh, Oregon moved way down. Oregon moved down, but not below Penn State. Or Missouri's number 9. That's good. Notre Dame is number 5. You've got to be shitting me. They watched them play. They watched them play Texas A&M, right? I guess not. I guess these people don't have eyes. Okay, so I just want to say for the record, Alabama would fucking destroy Notre Dame. Ole Miss would fucking destroy Notre Dame. Oregon would probably destroy Notre Dame. I bet fucking who did Oregon play this week? I bet Idaho would beat Notre Dame. Gosh, they really got a huge boost from well, I guess they were okay. That's just fucking Notre Dame coming into the season overrated as fuck. That's what that is right there because they started out at 7. Okay. Next up, we got Ole Miss. Stayed right there at 6. Notre Dame jumped Ole Miss. This is crazy. Fucking Notre Dame is not good. Notre Dame is fake as hell. From what I watched, they are fake as hell. That was one of the Notre. I watched that whole game live. You can go back and watch the live stream. I was bored out of my fucking mind that whole game. It was awful. It was one of the worst football games I've ever seen in my life. Just no offense. Just no offense at all. These Notre Dame and A&M do not have an offense, and A&M is going to go 8-4 because their schedule is going to give them 8 wins. But A&M's fucking terrible. So a win over them does nothing for me. Ole Miss. Ole Miss should be higher. Oregon should have dropped probably lower. Penn State at 8, I think that's fine. Missouri at 9, that's a little high. I wouldn't put Missouri at 9. Michigan down to 10. I don't think you can put the defending national champions below Penn State. I mean, I don't think you can put Oregon above them right now. Good. Let me go back. Do we have Oregon above Michigan? No, we don't. No, we don't. Good. Okay. Utah at number 11. That's solid. Number 12 last week. Miami, Florida moved up from 12 to 19 because they beat Florida. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we rewarding? If you beat an absolute dog shit team by 3 points, you win, or you move up 7. I mean, I know they beat Florida by more than that, but Florida is a poverty program. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Oregon's win over Idaho might be more impressive than Miami's win over Florida. Just straight up. USC moved up from 23 because they beat LSU, another dog shit team that was overrated. Not Southern Cal. They're going to do okay. Honestly, the more I've been thinking about USC and the Big Ten, the more I think they're going to do really well because the Big Ten is full of trash schools that want to run the ball. And once USC gets out to about a 14-point lead on those teams, their whole strategy is going to go out the window. Now, I do think USC is going to have to deal with playing in the cold. There's going to be some things that kind of probably shake them up a little bit. So they might catch a couple of weird losses. But honestly, I think they're going to do okay. But I'm going to leave them down at 24 in my poll because they're going to move up 1 spot at a time. And the moment they lose, they're going to go all the way out of the poll for me. Okay, next up we had Tennessee, number 15, Tennessee, number 14, Oklahoma, number 15, Oklahoma State right behind us. Kansas State right behind us. LSU does not even drop out of the top 25. I get it. You think USC's a good team, but LSU does not deserve to be in the top 25. Granted, the team's good, but Brian Kelly's a terrible coach. I mean, that man lost them the game from what I saw. But okay, if you want to leave LSU in the top 25, so you can overrate all your other SEC teams when they beat them, I guess I understand where you're coming from. It's really shady, and I wouldn't do it, but that's up to you. Well, I guess the AP poll is a conglomerate. It's no one individual. It's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of individuals making bad decisions. Because when it's a collective group of bad decisions, then it makes it better. Kansas got a win. Iowa got a win. They were 25, moved up to 21. We had three teams drop out. I'd be curious to see. Florida State is definitely one of them. Louisville moved up to 1-0, 1-0 from not ranked. Georgia Tech moved into the top 25. I was ahead of the game there. Uh, NC State. What the fuck is it? Clemson 1-0. Am I looking at this right? They watched the Georgia game, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Clemson lost that game. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe Clemson actually won that game. You know. Okay, so Clemson 1-0. They fell to 14 after beating Georgia. They fell from 14 to 25 after beating Georgia, apparently. Even though they didn't beat Georgia and got the absolute shit kicked out of them the whole week. Granted, I'll say this for Clemson. Most teams would have got the shit kicked out of them by Georgia. So there's really no shame in that, but you also shouldn't be in the top 25 right now. You got to earn that shit back. NC State is also in the top 25. And they're talking about biggest movers. Florida State collapses. Yeah, they're 0-2 in week one. Or by the end of week one. We do have Texas at Michigan. That is going to be a good game. I'm excited for that one. Might go live for that one if I can. 12 p.m. Never mind. Never mind. That's going to be too early. Boise State at Oregon. Arkansas at Oklahoma State. That should also be a good game. Bunch of good games at 12. Georgia Tech at Syracuse. I'm not really interested in that. Okay. And who's the biggest movers? USC with a 27-20 win over poverty LSU. And Miami, Florida jumps up after beating poverty program Florida. Man, just got to get that SEC boost. Notre Dame cracks the top 5 after holding the Aggies to just 13 points. I'll tell you this. A group of toddlers could hold the Aggies defense to 13 points. You could put 11 Damos out there, and we could hold Texas A&M's offense to under 13 points. And it has nothing to do with the athletes on the defensive side of the ball. It has everything to do with that offense being completely inept. They are, oh my god, they are terrible. So yeah, that's where my head's at. That's my immediate thoughts on the top 25, the AP top 25. Let me know if I'm crazy, or let me know if they're crazy. I'm probably the crazy one, but Jesus, that does not. I think my poll looks solid. USC is probably a little underrated. Maybe they should be in like the top 15, but I think down there at 20. Oh no, they're supposed to be 24. So Arizona, you're gonna have to move over here. And honestly, I think Colorado would probably lose to all these teams too, but we're going to ignore that for now. And Vandy's going to move up to 21 because congratulations, Vandy, on your win. Also, I watched the SEC shorts. If you haven't watched the SEC shorts, go back and watch it. It's super funny. Vandy is king for a day. But that's going to do it for the Damo Top 25. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, sorry it didn't get up earlier, but like I said, football was still being played on Monday. I didn't want to do my poll before all the games were over, and I also I didn't have time the last 2 days. So yeah, that's why we are where we are. These will usually be up on this Sunday after game day, so they should be up pretty quick after from this week going forward. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your top 25 is, or where my top 25 went horribly wrong. A bunch of people probably think Tennessee's better than OU. Well, we'll find out when we head to. No, we're not going to Neyland. They're coming to Norman. But we'll find out soon enough. Only got 3 more games in between here and there, or 2 more games. But yeah, should be a good week of college football, and yeah, I'm excited for it. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Please like and subscribe if you watched all the way through. Also, if you didn't watch all the way through, but if you didn't, then you're not going to hear me say this, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's gonna do it for Damo's top 25. And we will catch you on Sunday.